Hi everybody, this will be the second video for the beginning carver, how to carve a wood spirit with a chainsaw. In the first video, I've been using this battery saw. It's a Stihl 140C. And let's just carry on, cut out this mustache, cut a lip in there, work on the nose and the eyebrows, and carry on. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the mustache in, right? So you don't have to go too deep in here. I suggest don't go too deep and then slowly take it deeper as you want to go deeper. Okay, there's one side cut. Try and make the mustache the same size so I can see if I follow that line it will be a bit thinner here, so let's just take it a little bit wider. Okay, now let's do this cut here. You guys, it's always helpful when you're cutting to stick your face, and they're not too close, but so you can see this tip of this bar is not cutting into that piece. So what I'm cutting, I'm going to wash it. Let's get rid of all this stuff now here, the old varnish. Okay, so now let's do this other cut inside here. Okay, so now let's just chisel this, blend this in, the bottom lip. Let's take it a bit deeper in there so the mustache is raised above. Okay, now we'll cut the bottom lip in. Okay, I'm going to do an undercut underneath the bottom of the lip. Okay, so now what I want to do, so you can see the lipstick. Don't worry about making it all clean right now. We can do that with our 1/4 inch burr. So let's give him a chin, okay? So I'm going to make a thin cut here. I'm going to cut up here to make the chin popped out, and then I'm going to kind of round the chin. You guys follow? Sorry, I don't want to rush, but I get rushy. Yep. Is that a new word? Rushy? Okay, now up and under. Okay. So I'm using the tip of the bar. Okay, this point of the video is where I stop and I sharpen my chain. I've just had enough. I'll be back. Okay, so this whole video series is dedicated to Just Carve Rob, and I'm blaming him for it. So, anyways, I'm going to show you quickly how I do my chainsaws, okay, how I sharpen the blades. Here's a pen. I put a mark on each one of these cutters here. So I know that's my start and my stop point, okay? So the top of the cutter has a pen mark on there. What I use to do my chainsaw, I don't care what you think, if it's right or if it's wrong. It's how I do it, okay? I got these little burs, okay? I got these from Amazon. They're the right size for this bar, this chain. Okay, I use my Dremel. I turn my Dremel down, right? I don't run it full blast. What I was saying, I don't run it fast, I turn it down. And I just give a couple swipes on each cutter. You don't want to heat these cutters up too much or you'll degrade the temper of the steel, right? So I'm just going to do it live for a few minutes, might as well, and just show you guys how I do it, okay? Just a couple passes each one, super zoom, zoom, quick, and out on to the next one. Okay, so find our starting one. Feel it? That's good. It's best just to keep on top of your chains. Don't let them get super dull when you're carving, because if you get super dull, you're going to have an awful time carving. And if you just keep on top of it, sharpen it when it's still sharp, then you don't have to sharpen it that much. Just a quick little pass and boom, you're ready to go, right? So just give it a little zip in there. That's all. Every cutter I feel it. There's the link, so there's no cutter there. There, that's all. Sorry, there, that's all. So I'll switch over and do the other side, and yeah, we're good to go. You guys, one more thing too. For these little bits, so say if you got a still 170, so you look at your bar and you say, okay, I got a quarter pitch chain. That's 50 gauge. Just Google quarter pitch chain, 50 gauge. What size file is for it? If you want to do this, so then you just type in Dremel files and you type in the size, because you'll learn the size from Google, right? I think this is 5/32. I don't know what size it is, but whatever. Carry on. Okay, so the chain should be sharp now. I don't know, sometimes I don't sharpen them very good. Sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have bad days. So let's refine that chin just a little bit, okay? So what I'm going to do is just slowly work this underneath here and make it nice around so you don't see any chainsaw cuts. Oh, it's a lot sharper now. Okay, these are really important cuts I'm going to do here. They're key cuts to give your wood spirit lots of depth, right? So I'm going to take my bar and I'm going to cut deep inside here and here. And then after, I'll burn inside there, and when you sand it, the burn still stays in there. It gives it lots of depth, okay? So I'm going to carve about that deep inside there. Gurdeep says about that deep. Kind of mess with the chin a bit. Yeah, so this is cutting a lot better now. Okay, so now let's shape the nose. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make a cut here, not 45 like this, but like, I don't know, just a little, give it some pitch this way and angle this way and angle that way. Okay, so if you look here at the nose, I could take this mustache back farther. So I could cut it and then go, watch this. That's another way to make your nose stick farther off. I'm going to do the other side. Okay. So now, let's give this guy some nostrils, and we'll give him a bump on the nose. So what I'm going to do with my bar, you'll see, I'm just going to slowly take this down. This is another thing Ryan Cook taught me. Slowly take it down here so you get a bump here and a bump there, okay? So let's see here. What's the best way to film for this? Okay. Okay. I'm just going to clean everything up a bit, get rid of all my cut lines. Okay, so we'll just give them a little bit of nostrils here, not much. You want to get deep cuts inside here too, because it looks better when you burn it later. Okay, now let's see, let's do our eyebrows. And just slowly remove the wood. Try and shape the forehead pretty good. Hold on a second. See how much better my saw is cutting since I sharpened it? Like a friggin' hypocrite. Okay, so we're almost done with the chainsaw stuff. You know what? Let's give him some hair. Let me stop, think about how I want to do the hair, and we can give him some, actually, you know what? How about I cut in the beard hairs and the mustache hairs, and then I'll think about how I want to do his hair. I'm kind of seeing these lines here, so maybe I want to do his hair like that. But so another thing Ryan taught me is, so I'm going to cut the beards. So you divide this in half. You put a line down here, okay? So I'm going to do this side of the beard hairs with this side of the bar, this side of the chain. And then when I do this side, then I'm going to switch over and I'm going to go like this. And I just skim it. There's tons of different ways you guys can do it, but I mean, this is the way I do it. Let me make sure this is filming. Yeah, she's filming. Cross the line. Careful with that nose. You don't want to hit that nose. Careful with that nose. Okay. So I'd say that's probably good enough. Just doesn't have that much depth, but it works. So now what I'm going to do is cut his hair. I'm going to draw some lines on so you guys can see. So it's going to come up like this, and this side will come up like this, and like this, and like that. So what I'm going to do is make deep cuts in here. I don't want to go too deep at the top because they want to put a flower pot on or something here, right? So I don't really want to cut the top of the wood, but I'm going to cut deep inside here, so it all the way inside here, so it reaches thin here, deeper, 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 all the way to the inside of the forehead. Okay. Okay, so now I got those cuts in there. Now I'm going to go on a 45 and start removing the wood. You see what I said in the beginning video? If you have a sharper chain, it makes your day a lot easier. This chain's like a razor bar right now. Razor blade, it's just slicing through the wood, no problem. So, you want to make it look like it's coming from behind the head, right? So, oh, battery's dead. Or no. Here's a perfect example. I got to blow this out because it was jamming up my chain. Good to go. Okay, now the battery's dead. Okay, so the compressor was running, I stopped. My battery died, so it's time to replace the battery. Okay, so I got a new battery, and so you guys can see how I brought this. I took this way deep down, so it's like behind the head, right? So I'm going to do that with this one, and all these. I'm going to take it way down, okay? So I think I don't need to show that. That's the first step. So I'll get these other ones done. See all the depth in there? Let's do a time lapse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these ones the same way, and then I'm going to go along like this. And make them look like hairs. Time lapse time. Okay, so there you guys can see the hairs are in now. Don't worry if you're just beginning chainsaw carver, don't worry about getting in here. You can use that with your Dremel and clean it up inside there because you don't want to cut the forehead too deep. It doesn't matter. I hit it a few times, you can see. But I know how to fix it. But just stay away from that area and just use your Dremel or something to get inside there. Okay, guys, that's going to be it for the second video. We're done with all our chainsaw work for now, I think. The next video is going to be using this die grinder with this Kutzall 1/4-inch bit in here, extreme flame burr. And we're going to shape the nose. We're going to just kind of clean up the piece. And we'll see how long that video goes. If it's not too long, then we'll start pulling out our little Dremel tools and stuff. And carry on. Hope you're all good.